You were listening to a Nerd Room podcast, a member of the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network. Be sure to check out more from the Star Wars Commonwealth on the web at starwarscommonwealth.com and take your first steps into a larger world. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Room, where we talk all things comics and movies. This is episode number 61, where we're discussing the Lego Batman movie and the Avengers Infinity War teaser spot. I'm your host, Tim.
I'm Troy.
I'm Sunjay.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, you know, just came back from Lego Batman, and what an amazing film. I can't wait to talk about it. But before we begin, I just want to say welcome back, Troy. You know, we missed you last week.
Yeah, it's good to be back, but you guys held it down, man. That's an awesome episode, so good stuff.
I wanted you back, but Tim was pushing against it. You know, it was creative differences. That's what I heard. So I'm glad you can come back, you know, and be kind of that vote breaker, because we had some ties last week, and so it's good to have a definitive answer with Troy.
That's right. I mean, the city's safe now. I was out there, you know, handling business.
Yeah. But this week, guys, we're going to discuss a lot about the Lego Batman movie and how exciting it was. We did go see it last night, Troy and I, on the IMAX theater. So I'm really excited to discuss that because it's a different take on a DC character, something that we haven't seen particularly a lot with the current universe as far as this lightheartedness.
What do you mean?
Not taking itself too seriously. But we're going to get into all of that. But first, we're going to discuss a little bit about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel itself decided to shake the nerd world to its absolute core this week by releasing a production start video for Avengers Infinity War, effectively a teaser for a movie that comes out in a year and a half. And this is building on the other teasers that they have released in the past, stemming all the way back to, I believe it was either their that at the El Capitan Theater, where they released that first promo when they announced Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. You can still find that on YouTube in cam versions.
Cool.
On, I believe it was Age of Ultron, there was the Infinite Six, teaser, where it did go through and describe a bit more about the Infinity Stones and had some background production on what was going on there. But this is the first official announcement from Marvel itself that they did start production on January 23rd. We knew from various sources, including the actors, Dave Bautista, Jeremy Renner, all these characters, they had started actual production, but it was last Friday that they decided, hey, we're going to give you this nice little video that was preceded by Robert Downey Jr. doing a Facebook Live event. I was quite intently watching this because I thought something was going to go down, and we all know what he's doing. He's got the Tony Stark chin strap shaved and all that, so you know he's filming.
He's in character.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I did watch the Facebook Live event. It was pretty cool. It's the first time I've ever partaked in a Facebook Live streaming event.
Nice.
And had him answering a few questions coming from the audience, and then he was joined by the directors Joe and Anthony Russo. And I said to my wife when this was being filmed, I said, the guy asking the questions sounds an awful lot like Tom Holland in his Spider-Man voice, because he is English, which is kind of weird to hear him talk in an English accent.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man, as far as I was concerned, and as far as I knew, had not been confirmed officially for Avengers Infinity War. There was actually rumors opposing that, saying, no, Tom Holland isn't going to be in this film. And I was a bit disappointed by that.
Yeah.
But one of the questions that was asked in this Facebook Live event, and it was aptly set up, is Spider-Man going to be in this? And Robert Downey Jr. just says, let my cameraman take that. He spins the camera around. It's Tom Holland there with all the dots on his face. Lost my mind. That would have been enough for me on a Friday evening when it comes to Avengers Infinity War. Yes, Spider-Man is confirmed. Was there any doubt that he was going to be in this movie? I really don't think so.
No, he had to be in it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still felt that. I was like, oh, I don't know. But I was super excited to have that. And then moments after that, at around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock our time, this teaser trailer just drops almost out of nowhere. And what do you guys think of, like, I have a hard time explaining here or expressing my pure thoughts on this, because I watched this, got the goosebumps, I got the feels. My wife watched it. She looked at me and says, I'm about ready to cry. Just that swelling of emotion. Did you guys get the same experience from this?
Yeah, on Marvel's part, well played. This is awesome, man. This is actually what I wanted from last year's celebration when Star Wars kind of did their own like behind the scenes trailer.
Yeah.
You remember back with the Rogue
For
One?
Rogue One, yeah.
Exactly. I wasn't really on board with that, but this is so much better to me. This is awesome. It's very like Blu-ray extra kind of footage.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so cool. And seeing Tom Holland, just how excited he is to be on board. It's really kind of like meta in a way, because it's actually like Spider-Man joining the Avengers, being like amongst those heroes. He's grown up, admiring these heroes, and here's Tom Holland joining these guys. So it's cool. You and I were talking yesterday about like what could be under the jacket, because
he's very tied up there, because Star-Lord has his outfit on. Downey was just kind of in civvy clothes, and he was like right up with the jacket in the middle of a studio. So you could see on his hands there, he's clearly got like the mocap suit on of some sort. So they're probably going a lot more motion capture with the actual suit.
Right.
Probably his web slingers in that.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. Do you think they could be going black suit?
That's what I was wondering. Because
interesting.
if you kind of crossed like the Secret Wars with Infinity Gauntlet, and you got the black suit in there, like that totally makes sense.
And we're cosmic, we're out in space. So there is a line of logic there as well.
So that'd be so cool. Sunjay, man, what did you think? I gotta hear.
This was great. I didn't see it. I got home from Lego Batman, and I think you had tweeted it out. And I was like, okay, I gotta check this out. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, as if we weren't already hyped enough for this movie. This just keeps it in the public's mind, because it's still a year away, and we still got a long way to get there in terms of we got a
15
Guardians.
Months.
Yeah. 15 months, 15 MCU movies.
Yeah, a whole retrospective to cover.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in that, follow our journey to the Avengers Infinity War right here in the same feed you're listening to. Once a month. This month we're covering Incredible Hulk, dropping at the end of February.
It'll be incredible. But no, as I was saying, like, we still got to go through Guardians, Thor, and Spider-Man, but this just keeps it top of mind. How much are those three movies going to tie into this movie? That remains to be seen. But now I don't think they even need to, because we got this and we know, okay, this is coming, and it's still topical and it's still top of mind. So if Guardians doesn't want to include Thanos in the film, they don't have to. They don't have to shoehorn him in.
No, and I think the director, James Gunn, said explicitly that he's not going to be at least a focal point or even maybe make an appearance. I wouldn't doubt if there's like a post-credit scene or something with him there. So they have to start rolling this ball down the hill a bit. And the fact that we do have Star-Lord Chris Pratt confirmed here as well in this little promo video, that's something, again, that we were speculating on. And I personally said that maybe we weren't going to see him at the start of the movie, that something's going to happen at the end of Guardians. But they do have to roll the end of Guardians into a logical place from the pickup at Avengers Infinity War. So they have to bridge that gap so that there isn't a lot of explanation going into why the Guardians are here. So it might be something very simple, but having the confirmation and having Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, and Downey all standing beside each other, that was done for a very specific reason.
Yep.
Like, that wasn't by accident. They don't have Thor in there. They have three characters from three different franchises. And I'm separating out Spider-Man because he's relatively new, and it makes sense to have him with Downey. Yeah. But they all contrast each other and sit in almost their own spheres, which is pretty cool how they set the three of them up there.
Do you think that the average moviegoer, I mean, us three comic book readers, we know what Thanos is capable of. We don't have to see it on the screen. We know, like, oh, the Infinity Gauntlet, once he gets it with the Infinity Stones, like, they're screwed. Do you think that the MCU has done a good enough job presenting Thanos as, as he says in the teaser, the biggest, the baddest villain they've ever faced? But all we've seen him do so far is just sit on a chair. Do you think that they should have been at least one scene? Maybe there will be, but like a scene where he just goes to a planet, destroys it, grabs an Infinity Stone. I mean, if you're the average moviegoer and you don't read the comics, you may not understand just how powerful of a threat Thanos presents.
I think that they'll probably get down that path really early on in Avengers Infinity War. I think because it's a somewhat two-parter, they haven't announced the second part or name, they're going to spend a lot of time focusing on Thanos, because Feige recently in an interview said that Thanos is really one of the main characters in the film, which is a bit different from what you get usually in superhero films, particularly Marvel films, where the hero is the focal point, and that it contrasts a bit to what we see in DC, where the villain does take some of the spotlight there. Mm-hmm. So Thanos is also heavily featured in this promo. And again, I don't think that's an accident. We get two concept images of Thanos, and Feige does spend a little bit of time explaining how much of a badass he is. So I think we're going to get that very early on here. Some of the concept art, one of the images here, we do have him assembling one of the Infinity Stones. It looks like potentially the Power Stone into the Infinity Gauntlet here. And we even see him outside of his armor, which is a little different than we're used to even in the comic books. You don't see this side of Thanos very much. So it looks like they're going to explore the character in a little more depth. At least that's what I'm reading into with this other concept image of Thanos without the helmet on, without his full suit of armor. So that's a little different than we're used to.
Maybe that's a spoiler. That's maybe when Thanos becomes a farmer. I think they did that actually in the comics.
He does that. So after it's true.
Farmer Stan is pretty out of this world.
I think it's after Infinity War, the comic book series. He does kind of go out. Yeah, it's really weird.
Whoa, he actually becomes a farmer?
Yeah.
Not quite, yeah, it's strange. You have to get into it.
I'll take your word for it.
But it's a good point you bring up, Sunjay, because now that you think about it, maybe that's one thing Marvel kind of has lacked is building up his presence to the general audience, because most people might just think it's kind of like the Emperor when we first see him in Star Wars. Like, what can this guy really do? Because we haven't seen him demonstrate anything, But going back to what Tim said about he's going to be a main character going on in Infinity Wars. Maybe they'll treat him kind of like Loki in Avengers, because he's like, it wasn't his point of view, but like a lot of the camera was on him.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of cool to see.
I think they're going to have to do something like that.
Yeah.
And they've teased this character so much. They really do have to show what he's all about.
Yeah.
But like you said, Troy, with the Emperor in Return of the Jedi,
Right.
we got what he was all about with a few throwaway scenes. And you never have an issue building up a villain with only having a few little cues, a few little demonstrations of what he can actually do. And I think that's all it's going to take. It might be at the sacrifice of a Nova Corps or something like that, right? That we're going to have to see him coming after the individual Infinity Stones. So it depends on where the Soul Stone lands and what happens at the end of Guardians. But like this right here, it makes me appreciate so much what they've constructed over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel so good about the time and the investment that I've made to this franchise, not only talking about it here week on, week out on the podcast, but also the investment in the TV shows and in the movies and going back and rewatching these. And really that's what kicked off my comic book reading too. So I have so much appreciation for what they're doing here, and just seeing a vignette like this just gives me this swelling of emotion. Like just the music in itself
Yeah.
was just spot on.
Yeah, so good. That Avengers theme.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with it.
And one of the major things that Feige did confirm in this was the fact that the Guardians are going to meet the Avengers. We had all made this assumption looking at the casting list. Of course this is going to happen. But having it come out of his mouth makes it all that much more real. And there's an absolutely gorgeous piece of promo art or of concept art where it has Rocket Raccoon back to back with Thor.
So cool.
How unbelievable is this?
That's crazy. I think that's something else he posted on Twitter that I
Yeah.
saw.
Because
Blown away.
I just couldn't get over the fact that they had dropped something like this. Because Thor is another one that hasn't been chucked around very much in the mix of Infinity War. Coming out of Thor Ragnarok, we really don't know what's going to be happening. But there is a slight spoiler in this concept image. So spoiler alert for Thor Ragnarok potentially here. For Infinity War, maybe. But I'm hoping that you've all seen this. If not, just pause the podcast and go watch it. Just go
what are you
watch it.
doing?
But he is holding Yarbjorn. I think that's how you say it.
I can never pronounce the names.
Not Mjolnir, not his hammer. So this is the big axe that he carries around. At least that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So either Mjolnir is potentially going to get destroyed, or it's going to be like he is in the comics right now, the unworthy Thor that is no longer able to pick up the hammer.
Right.
Oh,
So it's really cool to see him here with a different type of weapon.
Does he have both arms there? Can't really see, eh?
You can no, I can't really see actually. Yeah. That's interesting. They're going to lop off his arm.
Right.
Wow.
So
kind of like Star Wars, where Luke
get...
Skywalker loses one arm.
Right. Anakin even, and goes way, way back. But how cool, right, to see Rocket and Thor together, out of this world, man.
And
so cool.
Would you have ever thought that in 2013 when the Guardians dropped, just 5 years later we're going to have them teaming up with the Avengers? Like I know we've discussed this a lot on the podcast and we speculated and it's always felt kind of real, but now it just feels like it's going to happen.
That's what this trailer did so well. It just made it so real.
Yeah.
You guys are both grinning.
I'm just in awe, man.
It's like Christmas Day.
I don't know what else to say about it other than it was just perfection. And I know we've had numerous teasers before, but this is just on another level. And this puts Marvel on another level. This is why they are the pinnacle studio right now. So seriously,
they're doing
I know
well.
I'm a Marvel fanboy and I go a little deep sometimes.
Nah.
You hate Marvel, man. Every week we have to come in here and tell you to lay off the Marvel.
Tim, just let's talk about Marvel this week.
Yeah.
But no, there's nothing you can say. They're on a different plane.
Yeah,
there's a reason why people are trying to emulate this so much in modern day cinema, is that they just keep going to the next level, above and beyond. And this movie is going to be that again.
It's gonna be crazy. I heard somewhere like 60 characters, 60 heroes,
62, 64 characters.
Well, that was another thing
like
too.
that.
They had all the lineup of the different cards they had posted.
Yeah,
And,
Scarlet Witch in there.
Yeah, the cool symbols like this in Avengers, this in a Guardian, this is with Cap. Like the Winter Soldier was posted. Like
really?
Yeah,
I didn't see Winter Soldier. Wow.
Yeah, it's so cool too. You know, throughout the trailer, just they're showing you constantly like they've had this as a plan.
Yeah.
You know, from Iron Man in 2008 to Civil War, breaking them down and then having them assemble again to take on Thanos. Now, this master plan.
Yeah, this disassembling of the
Yeah.
Avengers.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
Disassembling, right? Yeah.
puppet master. You know, he's pulling the strings like in
Ultron?
NSYNC music video.
Or InSync.
Yeah.
Ultron's a much more appropriate.
I don't know about that one, Tim. We'll have to agree to disagree on this one. So let me ask you this. We know the Russo brothers are directing the whole thing.
Yeah, part 1 and 2, right?
Yep, and they're shooting it back to back.
Okay. I don't know. I heard this somewhere, confirm or deny, but James Gunn, is he directing some of the Guardian scenes in this, or what's going on?
Producing, I believe. He's on as a producer for Infinity War. So my guess is that he's keeping track of the Guardians. He may be involved maybe as a second unit director in some of the Guardian stuff. But I think he is just trying to protect a bit of the Guardians. Trying to make sure that they're in the place for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that he is happy with.
Oh, okay.
And maintaining that characterization of Drax, of Star-Lord and all that. And I think really just keeping them on the straight and narrow. That would be my guess, is that you become overprotective of these properties, I would think. And he's really crafted out himself a very nice part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And keeping that and constructing something more, I think, is key to him. Like, because he's going to have to bounce off the back end of Avengers Infinity War and spin out Volume 3 out of this giant mess this is probably going to create within the universe itself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see where they go from here, because they've been building up to this point for 10 years. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a conversation for another day. I just don't know, because every movie, the stakes get higher.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how they can get any higher than they are right now, unless they bring in X-Men.
Yeah, if they can get their hands on Doctor Doom, that'd be sweet. Galactus, or I've been vouching for a while, Kang the Conqueror, who's playing a big role right now in Avengers comics, and even Old Man Logan. So Kang the Conqueror is where I'd like to see it go. Yeah.
But if anyone can shift this universe from this massive Infinity War arc into something different, I have full faith that it's Kevin Feige and the crew there right now. So wait and see what's coming after, but we are counting down towards that. We got a year and a half.
How many days, Tim? You probably know. How many days?
It's less than 500. I can tell you that much. Like, it was 500 in the end of December there.
Oh, okay.
Closing off here, not to go any further, but you know, you did mention 60 plus characters. Could we see the Netflix characters pop up? Daredevil, Defenders, any of those? I mean, after watching this trailer, did you think, man, maybe those guys are somewhere on the screen, on set?
I still don't think
Not going to happen, eh?
I would love it. And I'm revisiting a bit of Luke Cage right now, actually, before going into Iron Fist.
Right.
And the thing, what they're doing in the Netflix is they don't really reference much beyond Avengers 1. I know it's New York centric, but they're always mentioning that. There's no mention of the Sokovia Accords, or actually there might be a small one, but there's nothing of the Civil War or anything like that going on, the bigger universe. There's lots of nods and hints to the Avengers themselves, but it's almost like they're stuck just post Avengers.
Yeah,
and that might have to do with the timeline too, as well.
That's true.
So where they actually fit in, where they've integrated that. So they might be in a much more stinted timeline, and maybe not as much real time as the movies, jumping a year or two ahead.
Right.
So I don't really know it there, but a big part of me feels like that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just to pan down and just see them fighting whatever Thanos' army is.
Right.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's pretty cosmic for those characters because they're very grounded.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't see how Daredevil can go up against Thanos.
No, but if you think about the army, like a Chitauri type army.
There's got to be something like
cannon
that.
fodder. Like, yeah, these guys, like when you look at Rocket and Thor here, they're not fighting Thanos one-on-one here. They're fighting some sort of cannon fodder army, would be my guess. I know that gets old in these type of team-up movies, that you do have this throwaway army, but you need these action sequences. Yeah. You need this army, this mindless, this faceless army to fight. So it's going to happen, I think, inevitably here. But I just think it's going to be awesome. Like we're just going to leave it at that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Go check out this teaser. One of many, but probably the best I've seen for a movie that is still a year and a half out that just began production.
Yeah. They packed a lot in for just filming for 2 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Marvel. They can put almost no new content into something, and it feels like a completely brand new thing. It's all about construction of a proper teaser.
Yeah.
Some people should learn about it. Anyways.
Justice League released something similar. You may not remember it, but it was still there.
Okay. Let's spin this comic book movie talk into our comic book picks of the week.
Pick of the week.
I'm going to jump off first here. I'm going to take first because I think this ties in very appropriately to what we just discussed. And like I said at the start, when we started doing these comic book picks of the week, they're not always going to be the most current comic books. Sometimes we're going to do throwback picks of the week. And I'm throwing it back to Infinity Gauntlet #1. One of the inspirational stories behind Infinity War. Or at least that's what we think. We did see the cover of Infinity Gauntlet #1 in that promo. And I went back and reread that. I have the trade sitting right here. I would highly recommend going and getting this before going and seeing Infinity War. We're going to probably discuss this quite heavily down the road in the future. But I just want to highlight here a few things in this trade. This specifically issue #1. There's some really great scenes with Doctor Strange and Silver Surfer. Ooh. We have Silver Surfer arriving on Earth with this ominous message of impending doom. And it's so well written and so well drawn. Absolutely love it. This is where we see Thanos getting the gauntlet and snapping out of existence half of the known universe. Just beautifully done. We do see him pursuing death to almost no end here to find the favor of her. He feels smited by her. It's just so well crafted in this one single issue. We even visit Spider-Man, we visit Captain America, and seeing the disappearance of different heroes. It's one of my favorite stories by Jim Starlin, one of my favorite Thanos stories. And it's so appropriate to go back, you guys, and revisit this prior to even seeing Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's nice to have this background in Thanos, this relationship to some of the books that are inspiring him. And like I said, we're going to go through that in a whole lot of detail down the road, but I want to just recommend Infinity Gauntlet #1, or even the whole trade itself. Just go out, grab it, read it, improve your understanding of Thanos through reading the comic books. Because the Roosters are taking so much inspiration, I believe, at least I think, from the comic books here. They took a lot for Civil War. There's going to be nods, there's going to be hints, there's going to be Easter eggs to this book itself. Go out and grab that. That's my comic book pick of the week. A throwback, Infinity Gauntlet #1.
Damn, that's a good choice.
Yeah. Good luck trying to get the single issues because they probably just went up tenfold.
I've got all of them.
Okay, nice.
I bought them about 4 years ago.
I have to still find mine. So my older brother used to collect comics back in the 90s. And in my parents' basement, he had his long box, and he took it to his house, but he had the full run in there, and I should have just stole it without him knowing. But
if they don't do a poster of the cover of Infinity Gauntlet #1, they're just missing out.
Oh, that should be the Steelbook.
Yeah, you got to fire your market guy if they don't do that.
Or just a nod to it, an homage to it.
This takes place, obviously, after Secret Wars, then.
Yes,
yeah, because Secret Wars was like the first big, at least a Marvel big mega event.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was because DC announced Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then Marvel beat him to the punch with Secret Wars.
Right. Yeah, which was like in the 80s.
I think it was 83, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
we'll just say 83.
Yeah, it's in the 80s. So
no
this
one fact checks on the
84.
84. And then this came out in the 90s. 92.
Yeah.
So just before Marvel started running into some turmoil, pretty much, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, and this has follow-ups in the Infinity Crusade and Infinity War. I can't remember the exact order of all of them. If this is the first one, I thought the first one was 91, but it doesn't matter. There's follow-ups or preludes to this or whatever, but the whole Infinity series spans 3 different mini-events.
Awesome stuff.
All right, Sunjay, lay on us your comic book pick
of the week. Any guesses? What is it going to be?
DC
I'm going to say Batman, celebrating...
yeah, actually, with my Bane shirt on. I went with a classic. Well, not a classic. A modern classic, we'll call it.
Nice.
All-Star Batman #7.
Oh, I've yet to read it. I got it at
Okay,
home.
Okay.
Nice.
So I won't spoil too much, but
right.
It was amazing. So this is a Poison Ivy story.
Yeah.
So you don't get a lot of them. Like, she's one of those like villains that's been around for a long time. She was in Batman and Robin. And I'm not going to spoil it, but there is one scene in this comic that pays homage to the Batman and Robin movie.
Does it have anything to do with the back card?
No. I wish.
Okay.
You'll see it when you read the panel. Just let me know.
Nice.
Written by the great, in my opinion, the best Batman writer of all time, Scott Snyder.
And who's it drawn by?
Tula Lote.
Oh, is it not John Romita Jr. anymore?
No. So he left All-Star in #5.
And
then so he left at 5. So he did the first arc of Two-Face.
Do you actually like his art?
I love it. Yeah,
it was good.
Did you? It worked.
Yeah. I really like his DC stuff.
Yeah.
I can't speak too much for his Marvel stuff because I haven't read it.
Okay.
but he did a
Tim loves it.
Yeah, he did a Superman run with Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
He did Cap stuff.
Yeah.
It was the Dimension Z stuff, which wasn't a good story anyways. But I just did not like the art. Just I couldn't get into it.
JR.
Yeah, man.
He did some stuff in AVX as well.
Yeah.
It was all right.
He did Spider-Man for a bit too.
It's just so noticeable as art. And I don't find that, and I'm not saying that in a particularly good way. Like, it sticks out to me.
But shouldn't, like, I like that, because then, you know, you get to, like, know the artist. Even if you don't particularly love it, if it's your personal taste, at least it's something different, right? Like,
it's true. I'll give you that. I can pick him out probably better than most artists.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, there's so few artists that we can just like look at today in today's day and age and be like, oh, that's a Perez, or that's a John Romita Jr., or that's a I'm trying to think, Greg Capullo is another one.
Awesome.
Yeah. There's very few of them. But I really like this art. I apologize if I'm butchering their name, but Tula Lote. It was kind of like graffiti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very cool, very different. Very cool story involving Batman needing Poison Ivy's help. And then it continues from the last issue, which involved Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
And then it flows nicely into the next issue, which involves the Mad Hatter. So he's going through Batman's Rogue Gallery, which I think is the best of all time.
It's fun. I love Mr. Freeze. He's one of my favorite DC villains. So
yeah. Speaking of which, did you hear the rumor quickly? Arnold Schwarzenegger possibly in Wonder Woman.
For what?
That's the rumor. I don't know.
Conan?
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Olympia. So maybe he'll be Zeus. I don't know. But there's been some speculation, so don't be surprised.
This is the sound of me smacking my head with my hand.
All right, so we got one Marvel, one DC. Troy, break the tie. You're probably going to go Image or something just to screw us up.
I'm always back and forth, but you know what? Today I'm going with Infamous Iron Man number 4, but it's pretty much the whole series. This is, have you been reading it?
Yeah, it's so good.
This is awesome. The first issue or so is kind of whatever.
I agree.
And I'm really glad I chose to read this after Civil War 2, or else I would have been spoiled hard there. But it really picks up around issue 3. The art's grown on me. It's Alex Maleev. Yeah. Michael Bendis is the writer. But
Michael Bendis,
man, the armor is so cool. It's so Doom, but so Iron Man. And I think this is really cool because you have the bad guy at the helm of the hero. He really wants to do good. And if you've been reading Iron Man before, Invincible Iron Man, you know that Doom's kind of taken a turn. I'm not going to spoil like the actual story, but some really cool things going on here. It does a better job than the Superior Iron Man run, when Iron Man was kind of bad.
Yeah.
It's on par, I think, with your boy Cap being like the bad guy / good guy, and Superior Spider-Man. It's on board with those two comics right now. So it's really cool. I can't wait to read more of these issues. You get to see Thing make an appearance. You got some S.H.I.E.L.D. going on.
It's nice to see Thing in there because he's got that relationship with Doom too.
Yes, and Doom remembers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some things going back to Secret Wars. Yeah. So, man.
So what Iron Man is this? Is this Tony Stark or is this?
No, this is Dr. Doom's taking over.
Okay.
He's taking over as one of the other Iron Man, because we still have
Riri Williams.
Riri Williams,
Yeah, so again, I know going back to the Old Man Logan that I had to pick the week before, I really like stories that continue the plot from Secret Wars, because I feel like Marvel's lacked in fulfilling that 8-month gap. So it's cool when they go back to a character like Dr. Doom, who still does remember things from Secret Wars. So
Dr. Doom was a big pivotal point in that whole Secret Wars 2015 event too.
Yes.
You don't have to tell me, I read it. No, I'm just kidding. I think I picked up like 5 issues and then I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It was a tough event to follow.
Did the art work for you reading this comic?
Yeah,
Infamous?
I like it actually.
Yeah.
It's a great comic book too. I fully agree with you.
Yeah, solid stuff.
Yeah, it's another one of these issues. Like I don't know what's going on. Like I express so much doubt, but there's so many good comic books right now in that world that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we talked about this last week. Maybe quickly, Troy, we can get your opinion. Marvel seems like they're having some issues with their comics, even though you guys seem to be loving what they're giving you week after week. Are you in favor? Do you think they need a reboot, or do you think they should just status quo, or what do you think?
I don't think they need to reboot. But they definitely need to fix the status quo, I would say. I mean, even I'm a big Spider-Man fanboy, obviously, but even right now, we're getting this clone conspiracy thing going on, which is a little ridiculous. It'd kind of be cool to put some characters back to where they should be, especially for readers where, for instance, if you kill off the Hulk and you have a new Hulk or a She-Hulk and people invest in those characters thinking they're going to get 50 issues, but you only get 6.
Yeah.
And then now they're turning back to the original Hulk, if that's going to happen. But I just think it's unfair. I think it's it's easier for people to jump into a character that they already know. But at the same time, they're pulling off Sam Wilson, which is a great as Cap, right? And then they're pulling off X-23 as Wolverine, who's cool, and Miles Morales is killing it as Spider-Man. So it's
gonna be a balancing act between, like we said last week, between the new and the old, and finding the best characterization of the individual characters, and then just pouring that into good comic books and good writers and good art and all that, and just going forward with that.
And putting them back in the roots, like Rebirth. You know, you got characters that are right back at home pre-New 52, and I think Marvel could learn a lesson from those guys over at DC a bit.
Definitely. Yeah. And because the last couple of weeks we've been fairly light on Star Wars news, there hasn't been a lot going on in the Star Wars world since the announcement of The Last Jedi. We got Celebration coming down the pipe here, and Rebels is returning this week, so we're really excited for that. Picking up on that Sabine story, we did have the last 5 episode titles and synopsis leaked, and we're going to pick that discussion up on our weekly after show this coming Monday. So tune back in for a little bit more discussion on the newest Rebels episode, as well as these new titles that reveal when we can expect Obi-Wan and Maul to fight it out, and what potential we could see happening with Ezra and Kanan going down the road towards the end of this just unreal season 3. So tune back in on Monday. We're going to cover a little bit of that. But one thing coming out of the comic book world, they had the announcement of the Screaming Citadel #1, this new crossover event that we're going to see with the 2 ongoing books right now, Star Wars and Dr. Aphra. So it's going to be a team up of Luke Skywalker and Dr. Aphra, and I'm not going to go too much into the details here, but it looks like it's going to be quite a bit of fun. I'm going to have a crossing over of 2 characters, one that is brand new from the comic book universe, and one of our oldest established characters. So I'm really looking forward to this. We're going to have this Screaming Citadel #1. It drops in May, I believe, and then it's going to be continued on in both of the ongoings for 2 issues, similar to the Vader Down series.
Nice.
So it's not going to be too much as far as buying a ton of comic books and having all the tie-ins, but I think it's going to be another great event similar to this Vader Down series. So I'm looking forward to crossing over here. I got a lot of catching up to do. I've yet to start reading this Yoda story, which is 4 or 5 issues long.
Yeah, I'm all caught up with that one, 27 and 28.
Yeah. And so it looks like this will start in Star Wars issue number 31.
Cool.
So a little bit ways down the road, but I just want to throw that out there, and that's something that we'll be keeping a close eye in here. I just started reading the Dr. Aphra series. Great series.
Is it good? Yeah, see, I haven't been keeping up with that one. I really liked her before when she crossed over with Star Wars and with Vader. Yeah. So that'll be cool to continue. I'm calling it right now. Dr. Aphra is Rey's mom.
Okay.
Joking. I'm completely joking. If you couldn't tell. No. Anyways.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I know.
I have some Star Wars news.
Oh.
Legit.
Shoot.
So the legend, the GOAT composer, John Williams.
Yes.
Turned 85 the other day, and he saw some pictures of him composing Star Wars Episode 8.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, so, just quickly, John Williams, what is your favorite John Williams score? Because this man did Jaws, E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, or he did Indiana Jones, Star Wars, he did Superman the movie, he did Saving Private Ryan. The guy's done pretty much everything.
Back to the Future, I think.
I think so too,
Back to the Future.
I don't know what direction you're going here, but I have to say Star Wars.
Oh yeah. For me, it's Star Wars, and it's between either Imperial March or Duel of Fates. Duel of Fates is, I can play some Star Wars video games and just put on mute and play Duel of Fates in the background, and I'm in that world. Yeah, I'm just and my lightsaber skills. I'm button mashing and I'm going nuts.
Oh,
but Imperial
awesome.
March is just that's the song. That's the song you want when you walk down a hallway. You want everyone to look at you the way they look at Vader. Right?
That should be your music when you walk down the aisle when you get married.
Yeah, then everybody would leave.
So you laugh.
Okay.
You laugh right now. But when my wife and I walked into our reception, we came into the main Star Wars title theater.
Oh, that's wicked.
That's awesome.
I was carrying her in my arms and just... Yeah,
that's so cool.
Man.
Just that whole opening.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so cool.
We walked out to that. Yeah.
Nice.
Did you get a medal? And everyone got a medal except for Chewie.
A big tall hairy buddy didn't get one.
Yeah. You hear that, Harry? You didn't get a medal.
Anyways, guys, let's jump into our main topic of discussion today.
Yeah, Lego Batman.
Yes. So,
Does Batman pay his taxes? No, he doesn't.
This movie had a great opening weekend, well below, though, my initial prediction of 100 million. So that was a bit of a wild-ass prediction.
I think the competition played a big part in that,
Yeah,
though.
John Wick
and
50
Shades Darker combined 75 million for movies 2 and 3, which is very rare.
Yeah.
And Split's still doing a hell of a job.
And especially this time of year, too. So this pulled in $55+ million.
Not bad, not bad.
Change, but that's pretty good for this type of family movie, especially in February here. And like you're saying, I didn't realize the competition until I looked at the box office on Saturday.
I think we're going to have to readjust our expectations for 2017 because it's not a common year. And I think Lego Batman is already showing that because we were predicting 80 to 100 million. And 55 million, it's not bad. It's only an $80 million budget. So it's for sure going to make a ton of money in merchandising alone and at the box office. But I think, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get $1 billion in 2017.
So this movie has played pretty well to the general audience. This has found a lot of favor with the comic book fans, with fans of Lego, with children, with families, with all ages here. And it's even got a fairly decent score on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't always use this as a gauge, but they did have a very interesting summary of all the Batman films on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, okay.
And I've got them here, and I'm just going to quickly run through them, and we'll see where the Lego Batman fits amongst some of the best Batman films.
All right, lay it on me, Tim. Let's go. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Batman and Robin, 11%.
What? Okay, that should be higher. That's a fun movie.
Batman vs. Superman, 27%.
You know how I feel. That should be much higher.
Batman Forever, 40.
I think that should be lower.
I love that one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's my least favorite Batman film.
Chris O'Donnell, man, is Robin.
Yeah, I mean, it has its moments.
Yeah.
Ooh, Batman 89, 72%.
Okay.
It's a great film.
Batman 66, 80%.
I think that's a little generous.
You like the dance?
Sometimes you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Batman Begins, 84%. Dark
Really?
Knight Rises,
That's it?
87%.
Oh, that's too high.
And then we have the Lego Batman movie sliding in at 91% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
That's good.
And that is followed by The Dark Knight at 94%.
Oh,
appropriately
awesome.
placed, of course.
For
Was
sure.
Returns on there? Sorry, did you mention Returns?
Oh, yeah, Batman Returns.
Did I miss that? Returns was 80%.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Awesome. That was great. Best Catwoman we've ever seen on the big
For
screen.
sure.
Yeah.
Michelle
That ranks
Pfeiffer.
amongst the best of that Burton Schumacher
For
era.
sure.
A little weird, a little dark in second viewing, third viewing, like as an adult. It was
Yeah.
really cool as a kid, but it goes in weird places. But anyways, we're not here to discuss Burton
Not yet.
Schumacher universe. We'll get to that eventually down the line. We're going to discuss a little bit more of this Lego Batman movie. So
That's right.
it's got the critical reception. It's got the fan reception. Let's hear about your initial viewing experiences here, guys. We're going to start with you, Sunjay.
Okay. I loved it. I thought it was a great film. Plot was a little thin, but when you're having that much fun and that much cameos and that much Easter eggs, like this is a film for kids. It was made for kids that adults also enjoy, and I think we got to readjust our expectations for this film as compared to Batman v Superman or any other live action Batman films. If you did this exact same movie live action, I guarantee it would not be at 91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Can't do this live action.
No, it's just way too wacky, way too out there. But the kids in my theater, they really seem to really love it. I saw kids clapping when Batman wins. I saw kids near tears when it looked like he wasn't going to win. They were fully emotionally invested, and I can just imagine the merchandise that's going to fly off the shelf for this film. All the sets, like the clown car that the Joker is with the balloons that takes him up, and the Batmobile, and I mean, you could buy an action Lego figure of Calendar Man.
It's just crazy.
Egghead, Condiment King.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Okay, is that a real villain?
Yeah,
Oh,
Condiment King, yeah.
Yeah, all those characters they mentioned.
They must have been like from the 60s or 70s when Batman was like way out there.
Yeah. I know Egghead was, because when they went through the whole roster, I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, if they drop Egghead, I'm going to lose it. And they eventually got there. And
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Oh, yeah. And
Who
then
egged the bat signal?
yeah.
King Tut, too.
King Tut. Yeah, he's in the animated series, I
Yeah,
think.
He's also in 66 as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This was like a love letter to Batman.
Very cynical love letter.
It was saying it showed everything from Batman. I was listening to an interview with the director. He also did a bunch of Robot Chicken episodes, and
That
you could
makes a lot of
probably
sense. Yeah.
And he said they went back to issue 1 or Detective Comics 27, and then they went all the way forward, and they tried to get in as much Easter eggs and as much cameos as they possibly could. And this is going to be a great film to get on Steelbook and just like pause frame by frame to see everything you can see in the background.
I think that's one of the things that I struggled a bit with, was because there's so many cameos and so many jokes. Like, I really did enjoy that, and I found myself laughing at a lot of them.
Yeah.
But there's so much stuff in that sometimes I felt it was layered so heavily that I wasn't done laughing at one joke when another joke dropped, and I'm thinking, I just missed that, and I'm trying to think of what happens, how trying to reframe and recontextualize the joke, and so I found myself lost a bit. And I found that even with the detail in the background, like coming down to the CGI, there's so much detail there that I found myself almost overwhelmed on the screen. Like, I'm trying to take in so much.
Yeah.
I think overstimulation is a great way to put it. And I think, like you said, it's going to really benefit from sitting and watching it again and again on TV, on Netflix or whatever, just to appreciate the amount of detail that they've actually put into this film.
Yeah.
So, Troy, what'd you think? We saw it on IMAX last night.
Yeah. Actually, going back to what you just said, I was prepared for that a little bit because the Lego Movie did the same thing to me. There's so many layered jokes. I was like, whoa. So I was trying to like buckle down and really pay attention to as much as I could, but there's so many things that went right over my head. Tim, because you're such a Lego guy, you must have noticed like all the detail, like when the flames are going, you can see the little like flames. That's pretty cool. I think the movie started off really strong. Like, I was dying. I think all three of us were dying at the beginning. It was crazy. The effects were great. The voice acting was pretty cool. I'm a big Robin guy. Dick Grayson guy. He's my favorite. But I didn't like how they handled Robin in the movie necessarily. Zach Galifianakis as Joker didn't really do it for me either. It's kind of hit or miss with me. Again, at the beginning, he was great. Towards the end, I was like, I don't know if this Joker works for me. The cameos were great. All the callbacks to all the old school Batman stuff, it was hilarious. It was good. But like Sunjay said here, the plot was a little thin for me. I think even the Lego Movie did a better job with their plot. But man, there was some cool stuff. The Batcave scenes were just incredible, and we even get to see Jerry Maguire in this movie, which was just crazy.
I gotta ask you, because you're the big Robin guy.
Yeah.
How hard did you fangirl when he wore the Nightwing suit? And when they mentioned Bloodhaven.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was great. And I really like the joke they pulled where he's trying to get adopted by Batman. And explain his name. I'm Richard Grayson. My friends call me Dick. And he's like,
kids
great.
So
man. I thought that was just hilarious. Will Arnett just kills it as Batman.
He did a great job.
Yeah. Right from the rapping through to the brooding Batman and into the later Family Man Batman. Yeah, he did great, and he just really captured that. And one thing that was cool here, and I didn't quite realize and quite catch on to this, but I think it's set in the same universe as the Lego Movie. Like, I think this is a all-spanning franchise.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
And one cool thing too is I almost felt like it was really attached to the Tim Burton verse. I really felt like, oh shoot, is this the same Batman almost? Because they were pulling from a lot of those things, especially like the comments he makes to Joker and the costume itself.
The Prince reference.
Prince reference.
Billy D. Williams was Two-Face. They corrected that wrong.
Yeah. So I thought that was so funny, but then obviously it goes a little back and it shows like the BVS and it shows the Adam West and all that stuff.
They didn't spend too much time parodying the more recent stuff. They did some nodding towards and some parodying of the Dark Knight, in particular Bane's voice, and the brooding scenes and that. But they spent a lot of time, like you said, focusing in on particularly the Burtonverse.
Yeah.
And then throwbacks to the old 66 Batman as well.
Yeah. And I know Tim and I chuckled a lot when they kind of called out Suicide Squad, where Killer Croc pressed the button. He's like, I did something. And I was like, whoa, they really went there? It was
howling.
That was funny. I liked it. It was an equal opportunist film. It seemed like it poked fun at everything.
Yes.
And everyone. Iron Man sucks.
Yeah. That was fantastic. I had a good chuckle at that. Getting back to the plot here a little bit, I agree with you guys. The start was the strongest part of the movie. I felt this engaged me fully. I loved the references, even though they were so rapid. And this, I think, was the best Joker. This was the best Batman. And this is the only part I really have the issue is I did feel it low. I felt myself checking my watch about halfway through, thinking to myself, man, are they going to get to the final action sequence here? I need a little bit more something. And this whole plot device of him focusing on how he's lonely, how he has no family, and refusing to work with anyone. Do you think they played too much into that? Because I felt personally, I was like, okay, I get it. You're lonely. I get it. You don't have a family. I get it. You're yearning for something more, but you won't let that come in because you have these demons when it comes to your parents being killed. I thought that was a lot, and that kind of pulled the movie down a bit for me.
Okay, yeah. I think they kind of did a good job. Like I thought they did a good job because they kind of like layered it with other stuff. So like they would just have one scene where Batman's like, oh, I can't have like a family, you know, and then like, okay, well I got to go get the Phantom Zone projector from Superman. And then I was like so busy, like distracted because like, oh my God, the Justice League's in it, and they have the Wonder Twins, and they have the Flash and Aquaman, and it was so cool. Yeah. And then when he goes up to the Fortress of Solitude and he presses the doorbell and it's the John Williams Superman the movie score, I cried. I'm gonna man up and say I cried. I dug it because I kind of think like they kind of layered it where it was just like nodding at it here and then 10 jokes. And then they'll nod at it here, and then another cameo and 500 Easter eggs. Yeah. So I think, you know, they did a good job kind of not harping on it too much, but they definitely did bring it up quite often. Yeah. That was definitely like the crux, because that's kind of the crux of Batman.
Yeah, it's the main plot point, and they're really trying to focus in on that, and I get it, but it seemed like a little much sometimes.
Yeah, they beat us over the head a little bit. Yeah. I felt with it.
And you're talking about Superman here, and they really quite heavily focus in on the Donner universe, the Donner version of Superman, right down to the Fortress of Solitude, the appearance and the likeness of Zod, and then Jor-El as well, all from that Donner universe. And the inclusion of Justice League. I thought there was going to be more inclusion of Justice League, but I loved what they did there. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. They're having, the 78th anniversary, which is a nice nod to DC and its 78th anniversary and all that. Yeah. It was really cool to see all those characters. I didn't know who all of them were. Specifically, you said the Wonder Twins.
That's Super Friends from like the 60s.
Yeah. Who's the dog?
Crypto.
Yeah,
Crypto. The Wonder Dog.
Yeah.
I think he was in Smallville, wasn't he?
I think so.
I can't remember.
I think so, yeah. Cyborg, there's a bunch of Green Lantern.
Yeah, so I heard that the sequel for this will be Lego Justice League movie.
That would make sense. They did that with the video game too, so that would make a lot of sense.
That'd be cool,
if they did that.
That seems to be what is the next logical step in this, because we did see that Ninjo or whatever it is.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that preview?
It's looked fine. Like I know, like it kind of again, it's stepping a bit further outside of what I know in Lego. Like I've never collected that, never really looked at that. So it's probably gonna have a similar type presentation in as far as the comedy and all that, and I can appreciate that. And it was funny. It was getting laughs out of me at the intro there, but I didn't even know that was coming. It was kind of just
I heard about it a little while ago, but kind of forgot about it. But I think with Lego, it'd be cool to see the pirates or like the Robin Hood. That's what got me to Lego. Or those,
okay,
so I think it'd be cool to see a pirate Lego or a Lego Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Cool.
What did you think of Joker and his ultimate plan here to kind of trick Batman into sending him into the Phantom Zone?
I liked it. Especially you see the gears going in Joker when Batman breaks off that relationship.
That was so epic.
How they played that was so well done.
It was crazy, and the crowd just went silent. Like I wanted to laugh. I'm like, oh, maybe it's not cool if I laugh at this point because it's hitting hard right now.
I didn't know if they're going to commit to this, because I expected fully at that one point where they're kind of almost holding hands and he's kind of welling up. I was like, he's going to turn around and laugh and shoot him or something. Yeah, and they fully commit to this whole relationship and relationship thing. And I'm seeing other people, or I'm beating up other people. And I love the reference to Superman becoming, maybe it's Superman, maybe it's Bane. I don't know.
That was great.
Yeah, that was amazing. Superman, he's not even a villain.
That's a good guy.
But I thought the relationship there was really well done, and how they worked that into the overall plot of the movie. I like that aspect of it. And of course, Joker needs to be this villain for Batman, his ultimate bad guy, his arch nemesis. Like, you need that, and I thought it was really well executed in the movie. That was one of the strong points for me.
I loved it. And I loved how he took the villains from all around the universe.
See, did you? I didn't like that.
I love that, because as a kid growing up, that's how you play action figures. You don't just separate your Marvels and your Star Wars and your DC. You just combine them all, and that's what it felt like. It felt like you were a kid again, and you were playing with your Legos, and you didn't even care that Batman was fighting Sauron from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, see, I liked it when they made the little nod where the Phantom Zone took in the monsters, and you heard like Voldemort in the background. I was like, oh shoot, that's awesome. That's all I needed. And then when they showed up, I was like, oh, I don't know if those villains need to show up.
It's interesting you put it that way, because I didn't really think about that kind of kid bashing your action figures and your dinosaurs and all that, and making them fight each other. But I think I have to agree with you there, Troy, that I like the nodding to the fact that you have this wider universe, and the Phantom Zone does contain this ultimate villains, and it kind of reminded me of I think it's Villain's Pub.
From YouTube.
Yeah.
How It Should Have Ended.
How It Should Have Ended. That's,
Yeah.
It's so good, and that really reminded me of that. And I was like, oh, maybe they're nodding towards that.
Yeah.
But I think what I would appreciate a bit more from that whole Phantom Zone scene is seeing those, making those nice references and nods, but almost transporting the opening sequence into the end sequence where Batman, and you're seeing all these nods to Egghead and all this, and the opening sequence was maybe just the Joker and a few other of the Rogues Gallery.
Oh, okay.
But having the Rogues Gallery be that main fight at the end.
Yeah.
And I know you're looking for this like massive impending doom. We have King Kong and the villains from Star Trek and the villains from the robots, the British robots. I can't remember what it's from.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, thank you.
Oh, okay,
You just lost a whole bunch of British viewers, Tim.
Yeah, the Brits are going to kill me.
They're British robots. Ask your nerd friends.
But I think I would have liked it to stay within the DC universe a bit more. It's not to say that I didn't like what they did, but I felt myself so engaged with that first part, that first scene with all the Rogues Gallery and trying to pick out the 66 villains and the animated villains and Mr. Freeze and all that. I think they need to spend a bit more time with that Rogues Gallery. I think I would have liked that a bit more.
Yeah. How about the music? Music hit anybody like the Lego Movie or what?
Well, that like that fine his like rap and all the
the metal and all that. What did you guys think about Robin's theme song, all that stuff? Yeah.
I liked it, but there was no Everything's Awesome. I was waiting for like that one like earworm song that would just stick in my head all day.
Yeah.
You know, but I did like the Batman rap and the like the na 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 na.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the throwback. So, but yeah, I think the Lego Movie, like the first one, had better music.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I didn't really like it that much. They had something going in the first scene. They had like this best friend kind of trend going on. I thought it was hilarious. They kept mentioning this best friend thing. I was like, oh, this is really funny, and they went away from it. I thought that's gonna be their new Everything's Awesome, but I guess I just heard something else. Yeah, the music didn't really do it for me though. Yeah.
And Barbara Gordon. There was slightly different take than I'm used to for Barbara Gordon. Her taking up the commissionership, and you see Batman kind of ogling over her, and so I like the relationship there, and I like that she played this like really empowered female. Yeah. What did you think of the take on Barbara Gordon that eventually turns into Batgirl, Batwoman? How'd you like it if I called you Batboy?
Yeah, that was good. There is a Batwoman. Her number one issue comes out on Wednesday.
Sandra King?
Yeah. So check that out. I liked it. I thought it was good. I'm just going to point out something that writer Gail Simone said, and she's a great female comic book writer, and she writes great female comic book characters and great male comic book characters. But she said, she wasn't too thrilled with this trend of not having funny female characters. And I didn't even think of that. And I was like, yeah, she's right. Like, Barbara Gordon was pretty straight-laced. Like, she didn't really crack a lot of jokes compared to, like, Batman or Robin. And I didn't really think of that until I saw that tweet. So, but I did like her character. But maybe some more humor next time for the female characters.
And Harley Quinn was even toned down, right?
Yeah.
I think they really limited Batman's Rogue Gallery. I think that's like coming back to that point again. They could have expanded a bit more and used those characters that are a bit more familiar. I know we just had her in Suicide Squad, but I think leveraging off of the characters that the fans were a bit more receptive to, maybe it would have been like, I just was lacking a bit more of that Rogues Gallery because I really, really like that.
It's one of the best, right? Yeah. And to utilize Catwoman or Mr.
Racerhead.
Right? So
I think the director is more a fan of the Silver Age or the 80s Batman, and I think it showed. Like, some of the modern characters, like Harley Quinn wasn't in it very much.
Right.
Bane was in it quite a bit, actually. So I
was more nodding to, I think, the Dark Knight.
That voice.
Yeah.
Barbara Gordon, again, I guess, once they took liberties with Robin, I guess I threw everything else out the window. They really changed Barbara Gordon a lot. I'm more of a fan of Barbara Gordon being like on the Dick Grayson level, where they have a relationship, as opposed to like Batman going crazy over Gordon there. So
yeah, that is kind of weird to see. They did that in The Killing Joke, the animated movie.
Yeah, which got some backlash.
Yeah, but I think this was more like comedic and more
lighthearted.
Yeah, it's more lighthearted film. Like, she's not getting shot and paralyzed in this film. At least you hope not.
But some ways they could have taken liberties and had Catwoman in that role that Batman's going crazy over for, like the Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, guys, before we wrap it up here, why don't we each lay down our favorite Easter egg and then give our final verdict on this? Do we recommend the Lego Batman movie? We'll throw it to Sunjay first.
Okay, tough. So many Easter eggs, it's hard to pick just one, so I'm not going to pick just one. I'll go with two. The Batmobile Gallery, which shows pretty much every Batmobile he's ever had, and the Batman Beyond suit.
Oh, you took my the Terry McGinnis. That was this. I saw that suit.
Yeah, I thought of you when that came up.
Yeah.
I was like, that's for Troy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, I guess my favorite. I don't know, man. That's pretty tough now. You know, it might be Egghead. I think
Yeah?
Egghead's cool because Egghead gets like zero shine. Zero. So, like I said, I was waiting for them to drop his name, and when they did, I was like, all right, nailed it.
You know, even Crazy Quilt got his moment in the sun in Scott Snyder's run.
Yeah,
He
that's
brought
right.
him in there.
I read the Calendar Man one.
Yeah,
Calendar Man's
Man,
Long
yeah.
Halloween, where he's like the serial killer and he like knows who's killing people on specific holidays.
Right. But then with the Rebirth #1, Calendar Man also shows.
I kind of like them. That.
Yeah.
Kinda like shedding his skin and all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say for me, it's kind of an overarching one, but I liked all the nods to the Batman Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
And specifically and maybe not so much the Rogues Gallery, but I howled at that Killer Croc scene.
Yeah. I thought it was incredible.
Or how about when they're like, why don't we get the villains to help us beat the villains?
Yeah.
I was like, that's stupid.
And Billy D. Williams, you can never go wrong. with him
Yeah,
talking
they
about
finally read that
Two-Face.
wrong because he would have made a much more interesting Two-Face than Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes.
Maybe less crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Anyone could have been less crazy than that.
all right, guys, to round it out here to finish this review off, do you guys recommend the Lego Batman movie?
Absolutely, see it in theaters, buy the Steelbook, buy the merchandise for your kids because they're going to be asking for it anyway. So, yes.
Yeah, I recommend it for sure. I mean, if you're a fan of the Lego movie and you're a fan of Batman, you can't go wrong with this movie. So go out there and check it out.
I'm also a definite recommend here. I love the comedy here. The animation is great. The story, again, it's a little light plot-wise, but it does get you there towards the end. It's an engaging movie. They could have shaved maybe a minute or two off here and there. But all in all, great movie. Lots of fun. I would particularly say run out and see this in theaters. You could probably do with a rent on Apple or a Netflix. But if you're really interested and if your kids are excited about Lego, like Batman, they're going to love this. There's nothing in here that's going to scare them or anything like that. So yeah, go check this out. It's a lot of fun. But I wouldn't say rush out and see it in IMAX.
I would say rush out, see it in IMAX, see it in 3D. It's would you put this on par? So if you had the Lego movie and the Lego Batman movie, which one do you prefer?
Lego movie for sure.
I think Lego movie is
incredible. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go Lego Batman just because of the nods to the DC universe.
Of course, yeah.
But I feel like the Lego movie was a better movie overall.
I would love if Marvel or Star Wars did something like this.
I know.
I don't think they will because Warner Brothers owns Lego.
Yeah.
But Star Wars characters showed up in the Lego movie.
That's
Remember,
right,
We saw
yeah.
them show for 2
Millennium
seconds.
Falcon,
Yeah.
And the Marvel maybe not, but I would love for them to do something similar where you're nodding to the universe and nodding to the comic books and the missteps and the things that they did well. Like I would absolutely love that as a big Marvel fan,
For
as
sure.
a big Star Wars fan. Like I know they do have these on the Cartoon Network or whatever, and
Yeah.
they do
Yeah.
parody a lot of things. And they point out a lot of the plot holes and the gaps here and there, and that's a lot of fun. I really enjoy that almost cynicism to a degree and kind of parodying what they've done in the past. Like that's the best parts of this movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it really shines.
Well, you may be in luck, Tim, because the brilliant writers and producers behind such hits as Disaster Movie, Epic Movie, and Superhero Movie are making a spoof on Star Wars.
Well, on a better note, though, Lord and Miller are doing the Spider-Man movie animated. So
Oh, really?
That the Miles Morales one. So
Wow.
that could be pretty funny.
When does that come out?
Next year.
Nice.
Yeah, next year. Yeah.
That just got
Miles
me more
Morales,
excited for it.
Right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
all in all, guys, that looks like a full recommend for the Lego Batman movie from here in the Nerd Room. I'm excited to do our next movie review, which is going to be Logan. That comes out in
Ooh.
less than a month's time.
Wow. Can you believe it? Here we are. Hugh Jackman started this journey in 2000, and he ends it in less than a month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. We'll see.
So go out there and check out that Old Man Logan book.
Yeah, so
I
we're
got
gonna-
you.
Yeah, we're going to be reviewing that the week prior and discussing some theories and speculating a bit and trying to tie in the larger comic book universe and trying to speculate and predict what comic books they use as inspiration for the Logan film, similar to how we've done other X-Men and Marvel Universe movies. We're also going to be talking about the Oscars. They're coming up. I'm slowly making my way through. I know Troy is plowing his way through watching the Oscar Best Picture movies.
Yes.
And we're going to be doing our predictions and laying down our bets here in a couple weeks as well.
Nice.
That might even be next week. Don't know. Anyways, that is coming down the pipe very soon here. So we got a pretty busy month. We're going to be returning with Star Wars Rebels Alert our weekly podcast after show. Rebels comes back Sunday.
Yes.
That show drops on Monday, so look out for that coming down the pipe as well. And on February 28th, we will be dropping our second issue of our Marvel MCU retrospective series, where we'll be discussing Incredible Hulk. So make sure to tune back in on the feed you're listening to right now for that at the end of February.
Sweet.
Yeah, lots in store. And then, we got to give it up to the Star Wars Commonwealth podcast, because those guys are killing it over there too. So lots and lots of content coming your way.
Yeah, and watch out for the Star Wars Podcast Awards. They should be dropping the finalists for nominations, so we'll be going back into another round of voting, hopefully here for, at a minimum, the Star Wars Commonwealth for Best Podcast Network. That voting did close last Thursday, and we thank you guys who went out and supported the Commonwealth and supported us as well and voting for the Star Wars Podcast Awards. We have a lot more Star Wars content coming down in the next few weeks here. We've got a busy month in February, but as we move into March, and that will be picking up again with the impending Thrawn book coming down, as well as Empire's End dropping here in a week or less.
Oh yeah, is it running late? Was it meant to be February? I thought
It's always meant to be February.
Oh, okay, my
I
bad.
think maybe I may have said
Okay.
January at one point in the podcast,
Okay.
not being right. And then we have Bays and Shuret on May 2nd. We got the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo coming up. Celebration. There's a lot happening in the nerd world crunching here for the next couple of months. So make sure you keep it locked here on the Nerd Room for all your nerd news. You can always grab us at hashtag Enter the Nerd Room on Twitter. Our handles are at the end of the episode. You can email us with your questions, comments, speculation. What did you think of the Lego Batman movie? Let us know. Email us at thenerdrm@gmail.com or hit us up on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Just search the Nerd Room Podcast. All right, guys, until next week, for the Nerd Room, I'm Tim.
I'm Troy.
And I'm Sunjay.
And thank you for entering the Nerd Room.
This has been a Nerd Room Podcast production. You can find our hosts, Tim and Troy, on Twitter at TheNerdRM and Troy TheBoy87. Don't forget to subscribe to The Nerd Room on iTunes, Facebook, and YouTube. Just search The Nerd Room Podcast. Be sure to head over to StarWarsCommonwealth.com to find other podcasts on the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network, including Talk Star Wars, Generation X-Wing, Tumbling Saber, Rogue Squadron Podcast, and the Skyhopper Podcast. Follow the Star Wars Commonwealth on Twitter at SW Commonwealth and take your first steps into a larger world.